When a man wears shoes without socks, you know, you're too far gone. Those shoes are ridiculous. They are ridiculous.
I'm a fan. I like them.
If I saw you walking around the streets with those, I'd be like, don't come near my sister. Welcome to another episode of Man Talk, guys. We are live at the Alchemist.
As always.
Fun place.
Yeah, man.
Fun place, straight up chilling.
The feng shui.
The
ambiance.
Oh, the what, sir?
The vavavoom.
The vavavoom. The feng shui. Yeah, very beautiful place.
Yeah.
You guys should definitely come through here. Today we're getting our topics from the community. I'm holding the infamous notebook from our lives. The one you will see me pop up and just write the topics down. And Eli, today, the topic I want to talk about is, it's based on what Art Nicole Williams, one boy, shout out to you, asked us about black tax and how it affects families. But I'd like us to focus more on how it uplifts, like how your status and as you continue to progress in life uplifts others.
Yeah.
We talked previously in the first episode about friendships and how to sustain those, but how do you use those friendships to like grow the people around you?
Yeah.
And where does black tax fit into all of that? Man. So, bro, how do you uplift your friends? How do you?
So I'd say in terms of like one thing, if someone say, Eli, what do you like most about yourself?
Yeah.
I would say that, and you also need to know what you like about yourself, by the way, side note, you need to like have what you love about you, right? My thing is that everyone in my immediate circle, if we're like associated on a level, there's no way in our relationship that I'm not elevating you in some capacity.
Yeah.
If it's like, even just by example, if it's by a connection, a number I can give you, one thing I've always found is that even when I was a young kid, if you need something, remember the situation with the girl, you're like, I like that girl, I was like, I've got you. Like, even if it's in that capacity, like, I got the contact, I've got this, like, I'll wingman you. On any level, I'm a resource to my friends.
Just right now is when it clicked which girl you're talking about.
Yeah.
You've made mistakes. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, let's carry on. Made mistakes.
So, that really threw me off, dude. I'm glad that you clocked. No, but in terms of, so I'd say that's one trait that I've got, and I think that's something that I've just been instilled in me from a young age. Like, even in my family, my dad's been somebody that always, I was about to say his name, like, he can do this, or someone will come to a house because they need somewhere to stay, they need a resource. So I've seen that, and then I've sort of applied that to my life. Yeah. So that's one thing I'm very proud of. If you're my friend and I don't do this, then let me know. But yeah, generally, you'll elevate when we're together. Yeah.
For me, I feel like in my situation, as I've continued to go and progress, I've always tried to like put my friends in the right rooms and just mention them, you know.
Exactly.
In those rooms, just to mention them. Yeah. Because I don't think I'm at that place where I am lifting others and I can see that it's me doing the lifting. I don't think I've gotten there in life.
Yeah.
But like, because of kind of the family where I come from and like seeing how my parents have contributed to the growth and welfare of others, I always feel like it's also good for me to give back in any situation that I can. Particularly now with like a pandemic raging over the economy and over people's livelihoods and over even their health. I always feel like it's really important, if you have something to give it.
100%.
Lifting people is the rent that we pay for being on earth.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And the thing is, I feel like, when somebody says uplifting, immediately somebody can go to their mind of thinking monetary. Yeah. I think that's the immediate assumption that, we're talking about money, like putting money in someone's pocket, like, but it can even be the currency of time. The currency of time. That's what I found as well. Yeah. Just valuable time with people. Like, we were talking on the live about love languages. That's a different conversation, but different people strive for different things from you. So somebody might not need your cash, but they might need your advice. Yeah. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like when it comes to friendships, there's a really amazing model my mum's told me. She said you need to have a friendship management system. She calls it FMS, right?
FMS. Tell us about the FMS.
Yeah. So FMS, basically, the principle is that for each friend you have, you know that they serve a certain purpose in your life. There's some friends that are literally there because they are fun. Yeah. You have an amazing time. You'll go on holiday, make good memories, and you won't talk for a few months, but you're like, do you want to go do this? Yes. Yeah. The friend that's always down, right? So it's important to have that person because you need to blow off steam. Then the flip side of that is with that person that you always have fun with, don't start talking about your business ideas with them. they're not going to give you constructive advice. Do you see what I mean? Because for them, your relationship ends at Diani. That's where it ends. But now when you come back and it's a working week, that's a conversation you have with now another person in your friendship management system who's doing something already in that field or is already in business that you can now be a resource, which is where I'm saying I'll sort of come in, because I feel like people come to me for that kind of thing, right? Like, I'm not really the fun guy. I used to be, but I'm not like the person comes to for like fun. And the person comes to like, I'm trying to do this venture, I'm thinking about this, have you got experience in this, do you have a contact?
So the more you actualized yourself, the more people identified with where you're coming from.
And they gravitated towards me in that context. So then there's that friend. And there's just different ones, but the basic principle is, because everyone's gonna have different categories, right? The principle is there's some people that you use for certain, there's some people that you need for certain things and not for others, and just identify them and don't take advice, even if it's your best friend. If your best friend has had awful romantic relationships, don't go to your best friend for advice with relationships, because they're gonna tell you how they think, and how they think apparently doesn't work. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But they might be they might be an incredible business person. They can give you advice.
But they're terrible at relationships.
Terrible. Yeah.
What? That's powerful. For me, I know. Terrible. Don't come to me about relationships. I have no patience. I'm the worst guy. None of mine have worked. So go talk.
Where? Someone down there.
Someone we need someone. Maybe this notebook. Maybe the mentor community can help us, because I feel like that's such a powerful thing to say, even to hear, because I'm also asking myself, which position do I occupy in my friends' lives? And it's a very painful lesson when you try to, get into business with friends and that's not the space that they're good at occupying with you.
Dude.
It's a very painful lesson. Or, you're talking to someone about relationships and you just realize, fam, you're asleep. You're not alive to the situations I'm facing. So I feel like that's
exactly. And the key thing, I think, when you're identifying these people, to be fair to everybody, if you're not good at a relationship, it doesn't mean I don't appreciate you. It just means I don't appreciate you in that capacity.
In that
capacity. I think that's the key thing as well. So it's not like putting them, they just put in different categories, not in different tiers.
So for some people, like, I feel like you have a lot of friends.
So a lot of
relationships.
I have a lot of associates.
Like a lot of people who relate with you on some level on something. If it's your own personality, if your personality is gregarious and you attract a lot of people in your life, do you ever feel a need to keep them in your life, or do you order them?
I used to, but now I never rely on friendships. I don't rely on them. The people I rely on in my life are the 4 people that are my immediate family, if I'm honest. Like, wholeheartedly. Like, for you, I'd rely on you for like certain things. When we talk of business, we're talking like fun, that sort of stuff. But when it comes to complete reliance, I've sort of just narrowed it down to my 4 people in my family, if I'm honest. Because it's only because I learned the hard way. Like, I've had friendships whereby, like you're saying, you've gone into business ventures. I mentioned this in episode 1. You go into business ventures and then you find that like either there's dishonesty or you find that there's different effort levels and then it's just not conducive. Do you see what I mean? So I never rely, but I appreciate. That's
different effort levels. That's the one. That's the one you said and I felt my heart jump on. Sometimes even when you start a business with friends, it's like the different effort levels, like the fact that someone's willing to give 90% and then someone's giving 10% and then the return for all of you guys is the same. It gets really irritating.
And that for me has been a trait that I've had to stop, because I have to look at myself, because like I said, and this is not like bigging myself up, but I know I'm a value add in all my relationships. So sometimes I have to look and say, is this transaction like viable for me? Like, or do you in another capacity help me? Like, maybe we're trying to do this venture, you don't have the same drive as me, but you're there emotionally, and like that's where I need to keep you. So it's been a lesson that I've learned in terms of having friendships, putting too much in, putting too little in. So finding the gap and the balance.
Okay, so excellent. So now I'm going to ask you another question. When you're uplifting others and when you're giving yourself to others, contributing yourself to them, whether it's financially or giving them the currency of time, as you've just said, how do you determine when to stop giving, or when to pull out, or when to give a bit less or a bit more? Like, what's your metric in terms of measuring how much you give or how much you don't? Do you just give wholeheartedly?
No, I don't give. No, I don't give wholeheartedly. No, I used to. But one thing I found is when you look at someone and you realize that it's crossed the line of help, it's got to the line of taking advantage. For me, that's where I cut.
How do you determine that?
So you know how you mentioned gratitude as a good indicator for you? Similar for me. If I've done something like repetitively, or I've done something and maybe you've made a mistake and I've helped you rectify the mistake, then you make the mistake again and come to me for the same help, then I'm like, you're not valuing the service I'm giving you, even if it's advice.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So that's sort of where I realized, like, okay, let's stop giving that resource.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to money, it's very rare that we had this conversation. I'm very frugal when it comes to money.
Gosh, guys,
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
it's painful.
But like, even if it's a money thing, if someone genuinely needs cash, right, then yeah, okay, I can see the need. But then if I see that, like, I've given you cash and it's not gone to where you said, or it's not helped you how you said it would, then again, I'm not helping you, I'm maybe enabling. Do you see what I mean?
Enabling the behavior.
Yeah.
Sedentary behavior, it's not.
Exactly. How about you?
For me, like I told, I think we had this conversation off camera, and Eli, how I measure if I'm giving someone any support is helping them is the level of gratitude they give back.
Yeah.
And it's not that I expect it, it's that I will see it. It's not something that I expect to be given or anything. So, because gratitude does not breed expectation. You will not expect me to help you because you're making mistakes. You're not being grateful.
Yeah.
If you've been making mistakes before and you realize that what I'm giving you is a sacrifice of myself and of whatever it is that I've worked to accumulate, then you will adjust your behavior accordingly. If I realize that you don't even have that, I know that's not gratitude. That there is now greed.
Yeah.
Or if it's not greed, it's just laziness.
Yeah.
You're not willing to uplift yourself into a place where you're a better person.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I've been a crutch for you for that given period of time.
Exactly.
So that's my metric. My major metric is gratitude. And even someone who's grateful will find themselves in the right rooms, or if an opportunity comes up, I know that my name will pop up in their heads. Like, and if it doesn't, if like I've been supporting you and helping you do things, and you're in a room with some people, and you're like, the name Oscar isn't the first name that comes to your head. Like, Oscar is a fantastic, let's say, he's good at transactions. I think you should go to his farm and like, if you're not giving me that business, and I've been out here hooking you up, why am I hooking you up? Like, even you when you go home and sleep, how do you sleep? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've definitely been on the negative end of that. Like I was saying, like, because it's no skin off my back. And I think what happens is, I think both of our natures, we don't, like we said, we're not very reliant on people assisting us when it comes to success in a monetary or in like a societal level, right? So maybe for us mentioning somebody's name in a room doesn't feel like it takes away from our value, because we know we can hold our own. I think what happens sometimes is, if there's an insecurity from somebody and then they feel like if you come, you can do the job better, that might now affect their standing somewhere. I feel like that's when your name's not mentioned in rooms. But I feel like if you're very competent, you're very confident in what you're doing, then uplifting that other person, you don't feel like it's...
And you see, I honestly feel like your net worth is determined by your network.
100%.
And how reliable that network is. If, let's say, I honestly don't expect, as I build my social networks, I don't expect that a lot of people will need help, but I always prefer to be there when they do, because, like, it's always nice to like just support the community, because there's so much going on in the country that's just atrocious for the youth. Like over 40% unemployment rate. As much as tenders are being given to people in government, it's people with connections that are getting them. Even the crew that we're using today are a bunch of very enterprising young people. Like, they need the support that we can give them. And if I'm not able to give you that support and I'm withholding, then to what end? How have I contributed to myself also? So I feel like when you take away from others, you're also taking away from yourself. And yes, I do admit that the question of black tax, which is where you're repatriating cash back to family and friends if you're in a successful position, might be a bit high. But like, you also have to measure to whom are you giving? You get what I mean? Because if you're giving a young man money to fill up to go to college and have a university education, that guy you've uplifted from the village might sit in an office one day and determine the future of your children, even in your absence. You get what I mean?
100%.
So it's like paying it forward. For me, paying it forward has always been important. It's like you can't just live your life. Everything is connected.
100%. What's your thoughts on quid pro quo?
Quid pro quo, as in...
So like, you do this for me, I do this for you. What's your thoughts on that?
But that's society, is it not? That's capitalism. And you know how I feel about capitalism.
You're very much an advocate.
Quid pro quo is the way society operates today. Like, if you can't, especially in business, I can't sit down and say I'm the most successful businessman. I'm not Jeff Bezos, or I'm not even Jack Ma. But like at least I looked up to those people, and I realized that even for them at certain stages in their lives, they had to be mentored and uplifted at some stage in their lives. You get what I mean? They had to be mentored and uplifted, and when they did the lifting, you do it's a favor. You pay for it as well.
You can't walk the path alone.
You
can't walk the path alone. How do you manage your evolution? Because like we've mentioned in one of the episodes, like when you're elevating and maybe you're leaving people behind, when you get to that place, they expect you to now. So how do you
like I told
manage
you,
that?
That expectation is none of my business. It's none of my business what you expect of me. It's my business what I expect of me. It's not my business what you expect from me. What you expect of me is your business. Deal with it, address it accordingly.
How do you
I tell
express
well, like to be honest, you can't come and tell me, oh Oscar, ever since you became ever since you started doing what, you've not been chilling, you've been needing your help and you've not been helping. I'm like, fam, how many I need help. You get what I mean? How many times will I come to you and weep about it? I do admit that sometimes you need to be there and step in and help your friends. I do agree. But for them to expect it to be a debt, that's now the problem. Because clearly, like I said, that's not coming from a position of gratitude. That will not produce gratitude. That will produce dependency. You get what I mean?
Very true.
That will produce gratitude. What will produce gratitude is when they themselves are going through something and I decide out of the goodness of my heart to give them something. And they realize that this is something someone has sacrificed for and have been given. So now even if ever I am in that position again, I will give. Exactly. You see what I mean? Like, hey.
And dude, it's also just the laws. It's even in the Bible, bro. Like these are just natural laws, like give and you receive. Give and you receive.
But be careful to whom you're giving, because in Kiswahili we have asante apunda ni mateke. The gratitude of an ox is a kick.
No, very
of an ass actually. Donkey. Is a kick. So that's so you better be wise as you navigate this weird thing called life.
Parting thought, I'll just say, as you're just look around when you're trying to elevate yourself. Are they enabling or are they becoming a disability? Have a look around. That's what I would say.
That's what you say. Have a look. Take a look.
Take a look around.
So.
That's a song. I can't remember. I won't sing. I'll save you.
Save me. Because I was about to. I was thinking my music library went on. I was like,
Apple.
My final, I think, words that in would be, don't be scared to. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to help those who are around you. Even if as much as some of them might not be grateful, the few that will be are the ones who will remain in your life, and you'll be surprised at what times they will come through for you.
And those people, you'll see them at the top. You'll see them at the top. You won't see other guys, you'll see those guys at the top.
Because that's how life
That's how life works.
That's how life works,
Good stuff, guys. Thank you for listening, watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Peace.